Have you guys ever known that a trial deck and one of everything can win 3 games on a master qualification? Yeah, and that's what this deck does. So, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Asakura Yoh here, and today I'm gonna share you my profile deck for Yoh Asakura. This is for the newest collaboration set that's been released in English. It's already been in Japan for a while. It's stopping in Japan for a while too. This deck is insane. So fun story. If you watch my opening box, after the opening box, I was going to a local. I thought it was gonna be just normal weekly tournament local, but it was a master qualification, and I bring that trial deck and only one off of everything, and I win 3 game and lose 3 game using only trial deck and one off of everything. I just how strong the deck is. But yeah, story aside, let's go straight into the deck profile. So yep, this is Yoh Asakura, so it's the deck profile. So we start with the right deck. Obviously, you're bringing the grid 0. You cannot change it to any other grid 0. Oh, sorry, this is good. Oh, sorry about that. There you go. That's wrong. There you go. Sorry about that. But it's grid 0. You cannot change it with any other grid 0 because the grade 1 needed you to have Yoh Asakura. So it is standard grid 0. When you go second, you draw card. So yeah, that's pretty standard one. And for the grade 1 we have Shaman, Yoh Asakura. When it's right Yoh Asakura, when it's put in the fee and it's writing Yoh Asakura, you can search one Amidamaru, which I will show you later, and put it in the middle. You have to put it in the middle. So yeah, it's just gonna be it always be in the middle anyway. So yeah, that's a thing. That's pretty self-explanatory. And the grade 2 Fated Battle Yoh Asakura. This card is kind of good. This second right line is kind of cool because what it does basically give you 5k and gives you a draw by counterblasting 1, which you usually have, unless your opponent somehow damage you. But you gonna rush on grade 1. You always gonna rush your grade 2. So most of the time they won't damage you. So yeah, his skill gonna be broke every single time. You draw and you got 5k. Usually you make 28k for a row, which is really big, and your opponent won't card it. That's why he's like very strong in grade 2. So yeah, Fated Battle Yoh Asakura, and for the grade 3, the front right is gonna be fighting together Yoh Asakura. So his skill is pretty cool for a trial deck at grade 3 because I remember on Record of Ragnarok stuff. Okay, I will bring it a lot of Record of Ragnarok because it's the only collaboration that I have experience of on English. So in a trial deck, the grade 3 just really you just throw it away. You're not gonna use it again. Meanwhile, this card, this grade 3, is gonna be used a lot in the deck because the skill is pretty good. So basically, act once per turn. You can put a guard, a rear guard, so you need to call it first. You cannot put it from hand. You need to remember that because some people gonna roll Sharky if you remember that. But again, it's just not really necessary. But usually just call it in the rear. Put in the soul and draw card, and this get out of your front row, get 5k until end of turn. Yes, it's mini Persona Ride, which is really cool. So for the first grade 3 turn, you get mini Persona Ride. So this deck doesn't care if you go to first or second. If you go first, you got Persona Ride turn next turn, and it becomes stronger. If you go second, you still got kind of mini Persona Ride too. You get 5k to the front and draw a card. Pretty cool. And the second effect is basically Limit Break 4. If you don't know what Limit Break 4 is, if you just new to the Overdress, basically you have certain damage on your damage. It's like Limit Break 4, that means you have 4 damage. So Limit Break 5, you have 5 damage. So this card is Limit Break 4. So when this unit attack, if your damage zone have 4 or more cards, counter +1, and this unit get critical ones, they'll +1 critical on the end of that battle. The funny thing that I know about this card, I just realized this like yesterday, was if you use another card in this list is Anna and restant him, you can get another crit. So you can get 2 crits, so you can get 2 damage on the board, which is kind of cool. It's unnecessary, but if you know that your Overdress wasn't come out yet, it's kind of bit pressuring your opponent more, which is kind of cool. I like that so much. So yeah, we bring. So yeah, this is really solid, really good grade 3 actually, and it look really good. So yeah, it's really good. And yeah, that's the right line. And after that, we're going to the grade 3. The first grade 3 obviously is gonna be in the Persona Ride. All of this thing comes in a trial deck. So yeah, 3 copy of another fighting together Yoh Asakura Persona Ride. If you Persona Ride turn, you basically got 15k in the front. If you have Amidamaru rear guard, you can put the soul, you got another 5k and draw again, so draw 2. Amazing. You want to bring more. So yeah, Persona Ride is still pretty broken. So yeah, bring 3 more. And the cross right, which is really, I'm not really liking it for now. It's really strong, but in sometime you don't want to ride him because a reason it doesn't draw you. But if you have the choice and it's kind of plus on you, so you want to use him, so it's gonna be the cross ride. Spirit of Sword, Yoh Asakura. So this card is really busted. So on right, his own skill. So basically, he's put on the Vanguard circle. You get 10,000 and critical. So it doesn't need the LB4 or anything. If you got him early, you can just ride him and got crit on 10,000. So he himself is gonna be 23 on his own and critical. That's really amazing. And if you put Amidamaru, basically Oversoul, that's a term of putting some spirit regard to your soul, is basically the entire Shaman King gimmick. But the soul, you get 10k into the round, basically personal without drawing. So the reason why I kind of don't like it because there's no draw, because the deck wants you to swarm, and when if you open a smart enough or you open using the deck that retire a lot, sometimes you need more resource rather than the damage. So it's kind of, you need to like think if you want to use him, but if it's benefit to you and you use him, it's gonna be so deadly because he have another skill, not just 10,000, and then not just giving 10,000 to your entire front room, but when this unit will attack, it battle all of your open unit in a column. So basically Leonard. It's quite devastating, especially if your opponent have like a rear guard that they needed in the middle, like Buff Sagra, and they cannot, like Buff Saga, and she doesn't have any way to revive it. So yeah, it's kind of a bit annoying to deal with, and it's huge too. And if you have Anna, which I will show you later, it will restain. So pretty strong cross ride. You're not always gonna ride him because again, if you are minus on your hand, you want to persona ride rather than riding him. But it's such a strong card that you want to have it because again, it just can win you the game suddenly because it's so strong. So yeah, 3 copy of it. We don't bring 4. If you want to, you can max it, but I don't like it because that means you bring less shield, which the deck kind of needed. So yeah, I only bring 3. So yeah, and the deck card is kind of expensive. It's like $17 or something, kind of bit expensive. So yeah, and moving on to the next grid 2, it's another important key piece you want to see here every single turn. It's Goddess of Victory, Anna Kyoyama. So 4 copy of it, absolutely 4. You want to see it every single time. So yeah, you absolutely bring it 4. So what this card does is basically it's force up your opponent to either take your Vanguard or you having to battle another attack with it. So what this card does basically, if your Yoh Asakura Vanguard attack and it doesn't hit, a counter +1 and rest her, and the Yoh Asakura will restain, but -1 drive. Pretty cool. It's like force your opponent to like, yeah, if you want to cut it or not. It's kind of cool. Like just force your opponent to like, yeah, you want to cut it, then I will restain. If you don't cut it, you will get the crit if it's LB4 or if you're using the cross ride. Really, really cool. Like it's like mental attack more than just, because if you are smart enough, usually you just no guard the first attack because you don't want to get additional attack. But it's because this mental attack to your opponent so much that usually they're like scared and they guard it and you get another attack, which is kind of cool. But so it's just like really cool card. I like it. But in order to use her, you need to put her on the middle center, which again, if you oversoul, that middle center back row is gonna be empty anyway. So yeah, obviously 4 copy of this card is a such important card in the deck. So yeah, sadly we cannot search her, but again, it's gonna pop up in your hand anyway because you draw so much. So yeah, 4 copy of Anna, that's a must. And another one is card that at first I don't really like it because it doesn't do much, but when I play the deck and play the card more and more, it become really good. As I play it more and more, I understand why this card become good. So 4 copy of Let's Take It Easy, Yoh Asakura. So what this card does basically, if you have damage 1, so for each 1 damage on your damage zone, he get 2k. So if you have 2, you get 4k boost. If you are 4, you get 8k boost. If you have 5, you get 10k boost. So basically, the more you have damage, the bigger he is. And the second effect is when it's when your opponent battle him, you can solve +1 and this card doesn't retire. It's kind of good because his deck want to swarm and the crit 2 want to rush your opponent early. It kept attack and you get protection, so your opponent doesn't punish you by swarming at early stage. So when they try to attack, this is gonna protect himself. So you still have a month. Sorry, you still have a rear guard on the field for the next turn. So you still can rush them. You don't need to like keep refilling the field because if he protecting himself. Sadly, it's only battle. If it's cannot be protected, it cannot be the type and everything is gonna be really busted. But even though like that, it's still a pretty good card. I bring 4 copy because how the deck plays, because the deck plays want to, rush on grid too early. You want to give big number 23, 20, I don't know, 20, 30 if you're a trigger. So yeah, you want 4 of them because you want to rush early in the game. So yeah, 4 copy. If you want to print 3 copy, that's fine. But I personally for now bring 4 because you want to sit early, you want to rush with him early. So yeah, 4 copy of the thing. And the second grid 2, which is card that I actually want to remove from the deck, but I'm scared if I fighting card that remove my Ana. So 2 copy of I'll sacrifice this leg for her sake. Faust 8. So some people bring 3, nobody bring 4 because his skill basically counter plus 1 and revive your Shaman. So usually you can revive this card or you can revive, but most of the time you will revive Ana because your opponent know that Ana is kind of a bit annoying, so they want to retire it by any chance. So they will retire her, and then if you retire her and you have him, you basically can revive it back. So basically this 2 is your 6 copy of Ana. Weirdly saying that's how it is work, but I don't like him too much because he doesn't do much. Because some of them I have him in my hand. It doesn't have any attack boost or anything. It cannot be used. It can be used for grade 2 rush, but in the same time, his skill just waste off in the grade 2. So I only print 2. You can print 3 if you want. It's up to you. But for me, 2 is great because again, you usually doesn't extend the battle that long enough that you need to revive Ana. But if he does, he will go in clutch. But it's kind of really happen because the deck is really strong on grade 3, especially on grade turn 4. If they are the turn 5, usually you 90% gonna win because the deck how strong the deck is. So yeah, it doesn't really need that much. So I only bring 2 for reviving sake. And the next one, we have some card that actually, again, I don't really like it. It's have cool skill. But because I'm kind of, how to say, dumb. I don't really like it that much. So becoming the world's top comedian, Chocolove. So what this card does basically, when it calls Soul Blast 2, and you can search Jaguar Mike from your deck. Cool. So that's actually cool because you get free board by Soul Blasting 2. And if you think, oh, Soul Blast 2 is much, don't worry about it because you offer Soul because you get another soul usually every single turn, so you don't need to worry about that much. So yeah, Soul Blast 2 and the skill of the Jaguar Mike, which is one pair of him, which I will show you. So I'm gonna put it like this. So this is Jaguar Mike. So when it's called on the rear, it doesn't do anything, but if it puts Joko, it will get 5k, so it's 23k column every single turn, which is amazing. It's big if you rush early, just like big number early on. And even though if you don't have any Joko, you still get 2k boost, so it's still 10k. So even though you only have like other grade 2, still 10k boost, it's pretty big number still. So yeah, pretty good. And the second skill, when it's attacked, you open need to refill 3 card, which technically amazing, but because I have like goldfish brain, it doesn't do much to me because I forgot what my opponent did. I don't even think what my opponent card had, like my hand, what my opponent hand was, since like keep bashing. So I'm stupid. But so I used the Lysa before and I think we're fine. But why I love this to combo because it's 23k rear guard on the first grade 2 turn. That's big, and your opponent usually cannot guard this, so that's the main reason why I use it. So yeah, why not using 4? Because again, this card such this, I actually want to use 2, but I have 1 free slot, so I put it back, which is still like 10k boost anyway. So yeah, I don't want to use too much of the Jaguar Mike because you can search it, and yeah, that's it. That's how the thing. If you're smart to play the deck, that refill 3 card will be huge for you because you remember what your opponent have in the hand, and it's like, oh, you can think over it and strategize better. Me, on the other hand, I'm dumb, so I don't really, this refill 3 is not really impactful to me, but the 23k is still appreciated in the deck because you want to rush so much. So yeah, this 2 combo is the best. I'm not recommend to bring 4 because again, the grade 2, like let's just take it easy, Asakura is better on that rather than him. So yeah, bringing 3 is the best 3 and 3 for me. And the next one is some kind of card that been cut for some people, which is kind of weird. This is the best card from trial deck, Legendary Samurai Amidamaru. You bring 4 copy with this because you want to oversoul him. If you, it's like, it's just less resource to oversoul. You don't want to oversoul him because he's 13k booster. That's huge. And you usually want to oversoul the trigger because you can oversoul the trigger because they have name Amidamaru. That's what you usually want to. So you don't want to usually oversoul him, but you know, this is such a big booster. So you want to see him early every single turn, so you can just boost your regard become like 23k by himself. That's huge, especially if you have like the grade 2, like especially you have like the, let's take it just easy. It's like your grade 3 you should have 2. It's like 24, 28, like it's become big. It's such a big booster, so it's such a good card to bring 4 of it. And one of it's gonna be searched in the early turn, so I have on the 3, so that's why you bring 4. You always want to see it. Always want to see it. So yeah. But you need to notice this. All the cards that have spirit, which this card is spirit, have 0 critical. So you cannot call it and rush early with him because it doesn't hit because they have 0 crit. There is a skill in the, what's it called again? If you offer soul, yeah, his skill. If you offer soul, he got 1 crit and 5k. Which is, no, actually it's only 1 crit. The 5k is gonna happen anyway because you have Asakura Vanguard. So that can happen, but in the same time I never use that. It's like usually you have the regard anyway, so it's gonna be just booster. But yeah, it is what it is. So bring forward with this. It's really big booster. It's almost the same as level as a Shadow Army token without shenanigan to call it. So yeah, bring forward of it's. And we go to the trigger. Oh, actually before trigger we bring the PG. Obviously in the good PG. Sadly this PG is really expensive because it's hero PG, because it's aesthetically wise, people think this is the good PG. But if you are kind of on budget and you need the deck anyway, you don't care about aesthetic wise, you can bring the let me think a bit. You can bring the this guy. You can bring this, the Utashe Jireksu Art of Direction Shamanic Oracle. I hate that name. So you can bring him because he's just like $2 or something. So I think TCG players should be $1. So it's actually in the same scale, but it's different art. That's it. But people are more into this guy because again, he's a hero. They're building hero deck and they want deck the same. So like, yeah, that's what happened. So bring him. It's up to you. It's the same anyway. If you just want to play the deck, it's the same. So if you want the more cheaper price, you just bring him. It's the same. It's the same. So don't worry about it. So yeah, that's the PG. And trigger is kind of important because again, the oversoul thing is kind of important. So I bring 4. I bring 7 critical, I think. Oh, let me think. Let me see it. Oh, actually, I bring 8 critical. Yeah, actually, yeah. I bring 8 critical. So the 4 one is kind of important because you need all of the Amidamaru from your trial deck on this, because it's again the oversoul gimmick needed Amidamaru. So this is kind of important if you want to bring bring this 4. This 4 on the other hand, you can bring anything. You can bring the good critical that goes to soul at 2k, which somehow I think I throw it away because I don't think that I buy $3 and I think I throw 2 the good crit. I'm kind of dumb. I throw it away, so yeah, it's somewhere in the dumpster. But in the same time, it's actually up to you. The soul, not really that important because it doesn't really important, and I hate that it's 4k base too. Like this other guy has 6k base, but remind you, this trigger cannot be called to attack because this has 0 crit. I need to remind you that, but it's still big booster. Sometimes you just need to put it for big booster. So yeah, you can put whatever you want, but I've used this for the other 4 crit. You can put anything, actually, it doesn't really matter. But the 4 first crit, you need to bring this because it's Amida Marine's new. So yeah, that's for the critical. And this kind of the thing that the deck kind of bit ruined a bit. So you cannot bring the 10k shield, which the deck have the 10k shield too. The deck does have the 10k shield, but you don't want to bring it because you need the name. So we bring the original Amidamaru from the trial deck. It's only 5k shield, which is kind of a bit a shame. like you cannot bring the 10k shield because it doesn't have Amidamaru's name. If you want to, you can do it, but I prefer playing safe, so I can throw in Amidamaru a lot, so I can offer soul every single turn. So yeah, but if you are that guy that, oh, I want more shield, you can bring the 10k shield. I do have it somewhere, but I didn't bring it because you need the name on this deck. So yeah, bring 3 of this one. And for the heal, it's the same reason. You bring 4. of the Amidamaru, because again, this deck needed the Amidamaru as a name. So yeah, bring 4 copies of this. Sadly, you cannot find this in trial deck. You need to buy a box to get one of this. Sadly, but it's only common, so you're probably gonna find it if you buy some pack or anything like that, or your local gonna sell it for cheap. It's going to send or something. So yeah, 4 copy of this one. And the final one is Overtrigger. I don't have the promo Overtrigger. It's the same anyway. It's the same. It does the same, but it's more look prettier, that one. I only have this one. Then you don't worry to spend $30 of the Overtrigger. This comes from the trial deck, so you get a really busted Overtrigger. So what this Overtrigger does is basically get 100 million like usual, and it damages your opponent 1 damage without any restriction. So it's ping your opponent and get 100 million. Literally, this Overtrigger can win you any match if your opponent doesn't like careful. So yeah, this Overtrigger is insane. And the second skill is basically this is Overtrigger order. So this card is an order. So if you oversold this turn, you can put it order. You can play this and retire all of your opponent trigger, which is kind of broken, but at the same time you minus 50k shield on your deck. So pretty good. And the thing is, if you don't like this Overtrigger, not because the damage one is good skill, but if you don't like it, you can play the Cray, because the Cray still can play in this one. But if you like want the more shield, but again, this is just really good Overtrigger, so you should play this one. So yeah, that's Yoh Asakura deck profile. The deck is really strong. I'm surprised how strong it is. Like again, I used the trial deck and only one off of everything on Master, which is kind of weird, but it works really well. What can I say? So yeah, the deck is pretty strong, and to be honest with you, pretty cheap, because you don't need to buy Overtrigger. You only need to buy 1 trial deck, and it's like 40% of the trial deck is going to come to your deck anyway. So yeah, you don't need to only buy trial deck. You get dice, and again, there's some cards quite expensive, like the Take It Easy and Anna is gonna be around $10. That's kind of sad, but at the same time, like the deck is pretty strong. So yeah, you kind of have to spend that money, but right, more than comparing to the meta deck, this is like the cheapest one, I say. Like, and it's easily tiered 1 or 2, because it's such a strong deck, and not a lot of deck out there, even the meta deck, can handle the rushing for this deck. So yeah, this deck is pretty good. So yeah, and that's it for this video. I will try to upload another Shaman King profile deck. I have 2 of this coming up soon. If you really want to build up this 2, this 2 deck is kind of a bit interesting. So yeah, but that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching, and see you again next time.